AI agents are everywhere, automating tasks and making decisions at machine speed. But agents make mistakes. Just one rogue agent can do big damage before you even notice. Rubrik Agent Cloud is the only platform that helps you monitor agents, set guardrails, and rewind mistakes, so you can unleash agents, not risk. Accelerate your AI transformation at Rubrik.com. That's RUBRIK.com.
Looking for these better days.
It is Wednesday, November 26th. I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's what you need to know to make today a better day. Slight change in the latest college football playoff rankings. What does it mean for rivalry week this week? College basketball, the early season tournaments continue, especially here in Las Vegas. We'll update you on any of the numbers that we were looking up as far as trends are concerned. Good night for live betting for our Better Day Premium members. We'll recap that here in just a moment. Plus, the NFL Week 13 Trench Report is out. Mackenzie Rivers joins me on this episode of Better Day, presented by FanDuel. And Mac, let's start in college football, where the latest playoff rankings were unveiled last night. No change in the top four. In fact, no change in the top five. It is Ohio State number 1, Indiana 2, Texas A&M 3, Georgia 4, Texas Tech 5. But we did have our first change. Oregon leapfrogs Ole Miss to be ranked number 6, Ole Miss number 7. Now, this is important because I think the committee now is giving us an insight into what could happen if Oregon even loses, let's say, to Washington this weekend. They might still get into the college football playoff. I don't know if that should be the case, but the fact that they got elevated from 7 to 6 ahead of Ole Miss kind of gives us an inkling into what the committee is thinking.
Well, they had a big win, 15-point win over USC, a top 15 team at the time. They really only have one. I mean, they obviously only have one loss. Beating Penn State by 6 points, is that a loss? Like, in hindsight, it's not great, but
that's the thing. Like, yeah. Where's their like their best win is the USC win. That's it. Like,
Iowa doesn't look great.
No, the Penn State win doesn't mean anything anymore because Penn State's terrible, right? The Iowa win, Iowa's a 4-loss team, and you barely beat them in the rain on the road. I don't know. To me, it just feels like Ole Miss might be getting punished here for Lane Kiffin possibly leaving and abandoning the team prior to the college football playoff. We'll see if that's the case. We don't know. Lane Kiffin hasn't made any announcements just yet. But also, I mean, Ole Miss has a tough game coming up on Friday in the Egg Bowl, right? So they could lose that game to Mississippi State, and then maybe it's a moot point here. But I will say this: like, if Oregon loses to Washington and they are a 2-loss team, I think there are other 2-loss teams that have better wins than Oregon. So, okay, the committee kind of listened to Dan Lanning and him complaining about how they beat USC while teams in the SEC were playing cupcake games last week. Cool. The committee rewarded you. You're now number 6, but let's see how it plays out here for the rest of this week. Big week here in college football. Notre Dame continues to be ranked well ahead of Miami despite the head-to-head matchup. And you know something? I hate when people complain about this, Mac. I really do.
Why is that?
Because I get it. They played each other. And everyone's going to say head-to-head has to matter. But also, the time has to matter. That was the first game of the season. It was the first game for Notre Dame's freshman quarterback, C.J. Carr. Like, the teams have changed since week number 1. And by the way, the game was won by a field goal. Yeah. It wasn't like a blowout victory. You won at home by a field goal. Okay?
Right.
Like, that's not, to me, I'm not sitting here going, wow, I'm really impressed by that victory, where they won by a field goal at home in a game that, oh, by the way, they were they were actually field goal dogs in that game. So they weren't favorites, but they were 2.5-point dogs. But still, look at what Notre Dame has done since then. They are the most complete team in college football besides Ohio State. They lost the first 2 games, and they have reeled off win after win after win, looking stronger and stronger and stronger. Meanwhile, Miami's had some up and downs here. Like, yes, Miami is still sitting here as a 2-loss team. The loss to SMU is not good enough. It's not good. It's not, and that's going to hurt you. And you look at their schedule, the Notre Dame win's the only good win they have.
Yeah, head-to-head is very rudimentary. I remember during the World Cup, Tony and Michael Wilbon, who obviously never watched the World Cup during PTI, was like, how are you going to let one team get in a group of 4 when they clearly beat another team and they had the same record? And Tony Reali comes on and he's like, in a 4-group setup where every team is tied, every team beat another team, and there's going to be 3 teams that could claim the head-to-head over another team. Does SMU get in? Does Louisville get in? The head-to-head, it might break a tie, but I don't think there's a tie here. I think the losses at Miami make them significantly worse in their pedigree than Notre Dame.
Here's the one. I'm gonna like give a one hypothetical argument that I think blows everything out of the water. Okay. So Miami's sitting here at, Notre Dame's sitting here at 9-2, right? Okay. Miami's sitting here also at 9-2, and that's the comparison. Notre Dame lost the second game of the season to Texas A&M.
Yeah.
When Texas A&M scored with 30 seconds left to win that game. Actually, I'm sorry, 13 seconds left to win that game, okay? If they don't get that touchdown, which I think was on a 4th down, right? If I'm not mistaken, was that a 4th? I think it was the 4th down play that they got the touchdown on. It was 4th
and, goal from the 11.
Yes, it was 4th and goal from the 11, and Marcel Reed threw the touchdown pass. So with 13 seconds left, 4th down, the last play of the game for Texas A&M. If they don't get that touchdown, and keep in mind, Texas A&M right now is the number 3 team in the nation. They are undefeated. They are 11-0, and they are headed to the SEC championship game. Well, I shouldn't say that. They have to face Texas this Friday, so anything could happen, right? But they're the number 3 team in the nation at 11-0. If Texas A&M doesn't score that touchdown, and Texas A&M is a 10-1 team right now,
yep,
and Notre Dame is a 10-1 team right now, Notre Dame's probably a top 4 team in the country.
Yeah.
Maybe even the number 4 or number 3 team in the country right now. While Texas A&M is probably,
ninth,
like behind Miami, maybe, right? So, like, to judge Notre Dame and to just say, well, they're a 2-loss team that lost to Miami, they should be behind Miami. No, because that second loss could have very, very easily been a win. And then all of a sudden, Notre Dame's like number 3 in the nation right now.
Yeah, you could
literally.
You could argue it's the best loss of the season by anybody. An undefeated team winning on a 20% chance you convert a 4th and 11.
Yes.
So give Texas A&M credit, and then Notre Dame make them the number 8 team in the country.
Yeah. Again, going to play itself out. We're going to see how it happens here over the next week or so. This is a huge week in college football. We'll have the college football newsletter coming out before Thanksgiving. So actually on Thanksgiving or maybe early on Friday morning, so you guys can place your college football bets for Friday as well. AJ Hoffman will join me for a college football pod.
Did you guys have rivalry week, by the way, in Montclair State?
Yeah, of course.
Who'd you guys play?
Well, it wasn't like necessarily like, I mean, we had like local rivalries, but
like the YMCA guys, just like whoever
No, that would have been like William Patterson was like the college that was the closest to us. And so I guess that was kind of like a natural rivalry just because it was like literally 20 minutes down the road. But our rivals, as far as like the other best team in the conference, was a team out of South Jersey in Rowan. And so it was like North Jersey versus South Jersey, and we were like the 2 top teams in the New Jersey Athletic Conference. So that was kind of where it was at with that. But anyway, AJ Hoffman will join me for a college football pod this week. So that'll be up, and the newsletter will be sent out, and you'll get all the bets. There actually is a bet already up for Better Day Insiders, so you guys can check that out if you are a Better Day Insider. And if you are a Better Day Premium member, on Friday we are hosting our first live Q&A with professional bettor Steve Fezzik, and we wanted to do it Friday morning to get it in before the college football games start on Friday. So at 11:15 a.m. Eastern time on Friday morning, prior to the noon kickoffs, we'll have a Q&A with Steve Fezzik, so you can get your bets in or any questions that you have for the Friday slate of college football. I did already put up a best bet for one of the games coming up on Friday, and I feel very, very strongly about it. All right, Mackenzie, from college football to college basketball. As these early season tournaments continue, you and I looked up some trends yesterday when it comes to these top 25 matchups and the favorites in the top 25 matchups. Well, they went 1-1 yesterday in the top 25 matchups for the two games that we had here for the favorites. It was a top 25 matchup between number 17 Tennessee and number 3 Houston, and Tennessee comes from behind and wins that game 76-73. Houston closed at about a 3-point favorite in that game. And then in the other top 25 matchup, number 7 Michigan absolutely destroyed number 21 Auburn 102-72. Michigan was a 5.5-point favorite in that game. But speaking of that Tennessee game, Better Day Premium members got a live bet winner on that game, as at the half we sent out Tennessee team total over 70.5. They had 35 points in the first half on 3 of 10 shooting from 3-point range. It turned itself around a little bit in the second half, got some free throws down the stretch to help. They win 76-73, so a live bet winner there, cashing on that. Also a live bet winner for Better Day Premium members on the college football game last night. Gave out Western Michigan minus 6.5 in the second quarter. It was a tie game, 7-7, and they go on to win convincingly despite little drama at the end. It was a 31-7 game, Mackenzie, that wound up finishing 31-21. So little tiny sweat, if you will, but still a 10-point win, good enough to cover the live bet of 6.5. If you want access to live bets, make sure you become a Better Day Premium member. For college basketball coming up here today as these tournaments continue, Mac, do we go back to the well here with the favorites? Like the numbers that you looked up,
Right.
1-1's not going to deter me
No.
from what's been a very profitable trend going back years now.
You could argue that it enhanced the trend because, 1-1, 50% ATS, but the ATS margin definitely on our favor.
Okay.
I always think about it like, if I'm picking right, I'm going to have some easy winners and some coin flip games. I hope I win my fair share. That's what we got. So let's go back to the well here.
All right, well, let's take a look at the schedule here to see if we do have any top 25 matchups on the schedule. And actually, it doesn't look like we have any top 25 matchups here on the schedule for for today. And then let's see, for Thanksgiving, though, we do have on Thanksgiving number 16 North Carolina, number 11 Michigan State, that being played in Fort Myers, Florida. And we have number 4 Duke and number 22 Arkansas at the United Center in Chicago, part of that CBS Sports
Boozer's son comes
Classic.
back to the United Center. That's we're playing Duke. We're playing Duke. And the trend fits it. Let's go.
I mean, how could you not? How could you not,
How could
Mackenzie?
you?
How could you not? All right, we'll take a look at, maybe there'll be some college basketball plays that we'll send up coming up later on today. We did lose a college basketball play that we sent out last night. That was on Oregon as they fell to San Diego State. Well, we know why you guys are listening, because it is a football Wednesday, if you will. Not necessarily a football Friday.
It's a weekly tradition, like no other.
It's a weekly tradition, the unveiling of the Trench Report.
AI agents are everywhere, automating tasks and making decisions at machine speed. But agents make mistakes. Just one rogue agent can do big damage before you even notice. Rubrik Agent Cloud is the only platform that helps you monitor agents, set guardrails, and rewind mistakes, so you can unleash agents, not risk. Accelerate your AI transformation at Rubrik.com. That's RUBRIK.com.
As we do each and every Wednesday here on Better Day, we like to unveil the results of the weekly Trench Report that is now exclusively for Better Day Insider and Better Day Premium members. And that means that we're not going to go through the entire report here on the pod. I am going to give you some of the largest mismatches here, but as far as the closest matchups where you might want to lean towards the dogs with the points and the rushing mismatches, if you're looking for those RB1 props, well, you're going to have to go to the website or check your email if you are a Better Day Insider or Premium member and get access to our weekly Trench Report. But without further ado, Mackenzie, let's talk about some of the biggest mismatches this week in the Trench Report. And I know it's a fine line that I'm walking here, and some people are going to get very upset with me for, starting our paid subscription tiers. And usually they listen to this pod and they want all 5 of the Trench Report upsets and the underdogs to win outright, and they want me to give all the information. Look, I'm going to give you the mismatches here. But as I mentioned, the rushing mismatches and the close matchups and the game-by-game breakdown, the full Trench Report is available for our subscribers. So let's talk about some of the mismatches here, Mackenzie. And the number 5 biggest mismatch of the week this week is the Tampa Bay Bucks over the Arizona Cardinals. Now, based on what you have seen from the Tampa Bay Bucks and the Arizona Cardinals so far this season, again, the Trench Report doesn't care about the quarterback play, doesn't care about anything but just the offensive and defensive line play. Would you co-sign a play here for the Tampa Bay Bucks against the Arizona Cardinals purely just based off of the line play?
It's really tough because if there's one quarterback that I don't think is great, I don't think he's Patrick Mahomes, but is especially important to a team, I think it's the Buccaneers. We've already seen him pull, 4 game-winning drives out of his ass, Baker Mayfield. I would tend to pass. I don't know enough information about Mr. Trask.
Although, Baker, I mean, is he gonna play? Is he not gonna play? I mean,
I just assume he's out from the line.
No, I don't think that he's.
Or Teddy Bridgewater. I said Kyle Trask. Teddy Bridgewater's the backup.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that he's officially out just yet. I mean, what is the official announcement for Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, he was questionable, limited in practice. Yeah, I
That's
guess,
what I'm saying.
I might be putting the cart before the horse here, looking at the line to explain who's playing.
But look, if you have he's played banged up before, right? I mean, remember he had
his mystique.
Yeah, and remember he had the issue. He had a similar type of issue when he was with the Browns, right?
Right. Arguably, he shouldn't have come back, but he did.
Well, yeah, that's one for sure. Well, we'll monitor this situation. It is a sprained left shoulder, so we'll see the status of him moving forward here for the Tampa Bay Bucks. Currently on FanDuel right now, Tampa is a 3-point favorite over Arizona. All right, your next mismatch in the Trench Report, the number 4 biggest mismatch, is the Jacksonville Jaguars over the Tennessee Titans. This one should never surprise anybody. The Tennessee Titans are just trash. The Jaguars, 6.5-point favorites, Mackenzie, at Tennessee.
Strongly considered this for my survivor play. Think I'm going to end up going with the Chargers off a bye. But yeah, anytime you can fade the Titans and the Jaguars, they've gotten pretty lucky with turnovers. But considering their strength of schedule, a lot of metrics have them in the top 10. I think might be a little underrated in the market. But however, something good for the Titans, Cam Ward had probably his first better than average game, at least statistically, last week against the Seahawks. A lot of that garbage time, but positive signs for the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, and I was just looking isn't because these rivalries here in the division, it always comes down to
right,
who's
it's
playing
rock, paper, scissors, yeah.
Yes, right? It's they always win when they're in Jacksonville, but then they don't win when they're in Tennessee, or they always win when it's in this location, but not win when it's in this location. So I always think that's something that you want to look up here when you're talking about.
Yeah, the Colts
AFC
haven't
stuff.
won in Jacksonville, I think, in a decade plus.
Yes.
Jaguars at the Titans, they did lose. Yeah, wow. They've lost 8 of their last 10, Jaguars in Tennessee.
I'm telling you.
So maybe I'm glad I don't have them in Survivor this week. There's a chance. There's always a chance.
I'm telling you, this division is just weird, man. Like,
You
it's
don't
just,
go to Tennessee and walk out. No one does that simply walk into Tennessee.
it's just a weird division, man. The number 3 biggest mismatch of the week in the Trench Report, the Denver Broncos over the Washington Commanders. This is your Sunday night football game, and another one that should never surprise you because the Broncos will show up every single week here
Yeah.
on the Trench Report. Their offensive line play is and defensive line play has just been incredible. Broncos 6.5-point road favorites in Washington. It's a lot of points to lay on the road here, Mackenzie.
It's not enough. Lay it, lay it, lay it. Two of my favorite things. It's like I'm getting married. Something old and something new. The Trench Report has been excellent in 2025. Thank you, Scott Seidenberg, for that one. And fading the Commanders in FedEx Field has been gold. 55, 56% ATS gold for 30 years. I kid you not. Look it up yourself. No team in sports is better to fade at home than the Commanders. Do we get Jaden Daniels? Doesn't matter. I like Denver here.
And that's why the new stadium will be known as Trump Field.
No more losing.
Yeah.
Beautiful,
Game
beautiful
one.
stadium.
Game 1. It's a beautiful stadium. Never lost in the stadium. Number 2 biggest mismatch of the week is the Baltimore Ravens over the Cincinnati Bengals. That is one that is certainly going to be circled on the calendar for Thanksgiving night because of Joe Burrow's return. And the number 1 biggest mismatch of the week is the Los Angeles Rams over the Carolina Panthers. If the 49ers were able to shut down the Panthers like they just did, that's bad news for Carolina because the Rams are better than the 49ers, and the Rams will destroy the Carolina Panthers.
I think so. There are 4 teams that have not had their bye, Carolina and San Francisco being one of them, the Giants being another. I think those teams are kind of wilting, and I think the offense is kind of stuck in the mud here. So I think without their bye, kind of out of division. I mean, they still could win the division, but yeah, I think the Rams roll here. I think them and the Broncos, you lay it and you tease it and you do all those things. Those are the best plays for me on the Trench Report.
All right, 3 closest matchups are available currently on the Trench Report up on betterday.com. So if you are an insider or premium member, go check that out. Same thing with the rushing mismatches.
And it's still free for this week, right? They can see behind the red
everybody's
carpet.
got a 7-day free
Behind the
trial.
velvet rope. Sign up, see what it's like.
When
nice
you sign up, you get your 7-day free trial.
You win 8 out of 12 NBA picks if you sign up. All those things come true.
Well, we won 2-0 on the live bets last night.
Let's go.
There's an interesting game, I will say, in the closest matchups that it makes me think we got to take the points with the underdog. So I will just tease that for you guys. The Trench Report is emailed out every single
Is it the Raiders?
Wednesday at 9 a.m. Would you say is it the Raiders? It's not the Raiders.
Okay, it's never the Raiders. All right, good.
No, it's not the Raiders.
My Chargers survivor pick is intact.
Yeah. Trench Report emailed out every single Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, now exclusively for Better Day Insider and Premium members. So I gave out a trend yesterday, Mackenzie, on Twitter. It was one that you and I talked about on the pod yesterday morning for the Chiefs coming off the overtime and playing in Thanksgiving. Actually, we didn't give it out yesterday morning. We gave it out on Monday morning, I believe.
Right.
But I tweeted it out last night because I actually refined the search.
Some filters.
And so,
nice.
Yeah, I refined the filters. Yep. So basically, the trend is when you play in overtime on Sunday, and then you have to travel on the road 3 days later for a Thursday game. Those teams are 4-16, both straight up and against the spread. Now, there was a team that covered earlier this season. That was the
Raiders.
The Raiders over the Broncos, right? Yes. So it was 3-16 against the spread prior to this season. And again, this is non-playoffs, and it's also it's
2012.
Well, no, this goes back to like 2009, 2009 it goes back to. But this is also it has to be on the 3 days rest because there have been instances in the database where it's a 6-day rest for both the teams.
Yeah, Thursday to Thursday.
Like, exactly, the Thursday to Thursday, whether it was a post-Thanksgiving or a pre-thing, like something like that. So this was if you played in overtime on Sunday and then 3 days later have to travel for a game on Thursday on the road, you are 4-16 against the spread. But this is where I isolated it. When those teams are favored on the road, Mackenzie,
Like the
like the
Chiefs
Kansas City Chiefs are favored at the Dallas Cowboys. Those teams are 0-7 against the spread. They are 2-5 straight up, 0-7 against the spread going back to 2009.
That's why you listen to this pod on Monday when you still could have gotten Cowboys plus 3.5. But data is strong enough. I don't think an even money plus 3 is a terrible wager either.
I don't know. I still have counter arguments. I really do. I still have counter
The
arguments
Chiefs never lose on prime time.
as to why I want to back the Chiefs. There's just it's a power rating thing for me. It's a power.
You don't think the Cowboys are any good? You don't give them any credit for beating the Eagles. You think the Eagles just fell asleep in the second half?
No, I do think that the Cowboys have to be upgraded significantly, but this can't be the same line as what Philadelphia was.
Right.
And if
Chiefs
you're
are better
telling
than the
me,
Eagles. I agree with that.
yes, the Chiefs are significantly better than the Eagles. And if you're telling me that, okay, it's because Dallas has been upgraded, well, then I'm going to counter and tell you that Kansas City should be upgraded off of last week's game.
Yeah. 33 first downs to 10 for the Colts.
Exactly. We talked about this game. You and I debated this because, I said that, everyone's like, oh, the Colts went into Arrowhead and had a close game. No, they got blown out. This was a dominating win, a dominating performance for the Kansas City Chiefs. So I think the Chiefs should actually be upgraded in the market, just like the Cowboys should be upgraded in the market. I still get to north of a field goal here. So maybe the trends are enough to not have me bet the Cowboys, but enough to have me not bet the Chiefs.
I wouldn't say bring the Bricks truck around the corner for the Chiefs. At least have the trend keep you off, unleashing the rubber band on this one.
Yeah. There are better plays to be made on Thanksgiving, and we will give out those plays.
Some of them will be prop plays, some of them will be live plays. Yes. How fun will it be with the tryptophan running through your veins and some alcohol for those that indulge, just to have the work taken out of it and just the winning plays sent to your phone? Man, that sounds like a nice way to be.
We will talk about those Thanksgiving NFL games coming up on tomorrow's pod. NBA last night, Mackenzie, it was a short schedule. The Wizards picked up their second win of the season with a 132-113 blowout win over the Atlanta Hawks. The Magic blew out the Sixers 144-103, and the Lakers cruised past the Clippers 135-118. Just like we love to see non-competitive basketball on a Tuesday night.
The NBA Cup is back. The NBA Cup will bring competitiveness to the fall. Not so much here. Shout out to David Button, Twitter follower of mine for a while. I woke up this morning to a text that said, Game of the Year, Washington plus 11. No one's going to take Washington here. I'm like, I'm not going to take Washington here. But easy winner. Reversed a lot of trends that pointed against them here. The Lakers, not with my money, but the model was saying the Lakers were the number one pick of the night. So the model goes 1-0. That was really the only one that was above a half point of advantage, and it was a big win for the Lakers. Clippers have no defense at the moment.
Curious to see what the model thinks about tonight. So if there are any model plays, we will release them coming up a little bit later on today. A couple of games that I'll just highlight right now with you, Mackenzie, real quick, is the Thunder hosting the Minnesota Timberwolves. Right now up on FanDuel, we have OKC as a 8.5-point favorite over the Timberwolves. What do you think about that?
Timberwolves are shooting 31% for three in their last 6. One of the reasons the model says 8.5 is a lot of points for the Timberwolves. We expect that to turn around. However, without a point guard, they might have more offensive woes than just missing shots at the moment.
Yep. The Bucks have been a team that we have been fading. Yep. Certainly, the model has been fading the Milwaukee Bucks as well, and they take on the Miami Heat here tonight. And currently up on FanDuel, Miami a 7-point favorite over Milwaukee.
Fade the Bucks, bet them under their win total, and definitely bet the Heat here. A team picking up speed. The Bucks just have no offense, and in a sport where they're scoring 240 points a game, you can't luck your way into wins. Eventually, you're just going to have a quarter where Ryan Rollins, the 281st highest paid player in the league, can't be your go-to scorer. I think the market is way behind how much worse the Bucks are without Giannis. I'll tell you right now, looking at the model, there's 3 plays that meet my threshold. My favorite one is the one with the most value, and that is the Heat. That'll definitely be one I'm playing tomorrow.
Okay. And one final game I'll ask you about real quick is the Golden State Warriors up on FanDuel, a 2-point favorite over the Houston Rockets.
Huge game. I got to say, this season, and maybe the Warriors will say it's the schedule, it's the lack of practice time, the Rockets have been a lot better. And I think the Rockets proved that here, even on the road. I don't think they mind, especially Kevin Durant, going to San Francisco for this.
All right. So for the NBA model plays, we will send those out depending on how many there are coming up a little bit later on today. As we mentioned, the NFL Trench Report emailed at 9 a.m. here on Wednesday morning. And you want to make sure that you guys jump on board, become a Better Day Insider or a Better Day Premium member. As a premium member, you do get access to our live in-game plays where we went 2-0 last night, one college football winner, one college basketball winner, and we will have our first live Q&A coming up on Friday morning, 11:15 a.m. Eastern time before the kickoff of the college football games coming up on Friday. Professional bettor Steve Fezzik will be our first guest here on our live Q&A on our premium Telegram channel. Don't forget to follow us on social media, and our live odds page up on betterday.com is always free. Members, non-members, it doesn't matter. It is a dynamic live odds page. You can click on each game, find all the derivative markets there for you, live scores while the games are going on as well. To me, it's like the best odds page that I've seen out there. If you find a better one, please let me know. We are always trying to work and improve, but I think this one is just absolutely fantastic, mobile responsive as well. Where else can you find all the derivative markets at one click? And it's always free. Members, non-members, everybody enjoy your the live odds page up on betterday.com. For Mackenzie Rivers, I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's hoping you make today and every day a better day.
AI agents are everywhere, automating tasks and making decisions at machine speed. But agents make mistakes. Just one rogue agent can do big damage before you even notice. Rubrik Agent Cloud is the only platform that helps you monitor agents, set guardrails, and rewind mistakes, so you can unleash agents, not risk. Accelerate your AI transformation at Rubrik.com. That's RUBRIK.com.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.